So today we're gonna paint the Sigmarine, and we're gonna be using Games Workshop's gloss wash to avoid the layering part entirely and just base coat and then highlight the model. So for base coating we use Mordium Blue, Mephiston Red, Abaddon Black, Volcan Metal, Deneb Stone and Retributor Armor. After that we wash the model with Nun Old Gloss. After that we used matte varnish from Armor Painter. After that we highlighted using Dawnstone, White Scar, Templeguard Blue, Trollslayer Orange, Stormhost Silver, and then we used technical paints Blood for the Blood God and Soulstone Blue. That's it. The primer used in the beginning was Retributor Armor. It's an amazing primer. I started off base coating Mordium Blue, and I had to use 2 coats for this. You can really use any blue foundation color for this step. I just had Mordium Blue. Be very careful when you're around the golden details that stick out of the armor, like the golden hammer on the shield or the golden emblem on the Paldrum. With Abaddon Black I painted the joints in his armor, his belt and his sheath for his sword. The handle of the hammer and the sword I base coated Mephiston Red. Just be neat when you get close to the edge where you're painting. I choose to only paint 2 areas with Vulcan Metal, the hammer itself and the scale mail on his tabard. I think less is more in this case, and the gold itself is already very ornate and will be nice when you shade and highlight it. With Deneb Stone I painted the scroll thing. Just make sure you dilute the paint. With that the base coating is done. Now we wash the entire model with Nun Old Gloss. I like to put on all the wash I'm going to use straight away and then move the wash around to paint it afterwards. After you're done putting on the wash, you need to make sure there's no pools of wash on the model, usually forming around the shield and the foot of the model. Here's the model dried. You can use a hairdryer or a toaster to make it dry quicker. Now we start highlighting process. I started with Trollslayer Orange on the red areas and kind of dotted it on. After that I used White Scar to highlight the paper areas, and I used the side of my brush and not much paint to make very thin sharp lines of white. I highlighted the blue areas using Templeguard Blue, and again I used the side of my brush to more easily paint the highlights on. Instead of trying to move the brush around, turn the model around so you more easily can get into the area you're trying to paint. To make sure that the details you cannot paint with your side of the brush is easier, you should always make sure you have diluted paint so it flows easily. I highlighted the black areas with Dawnstone, which is quite a bright highlight. For last, I highlighted all the gold and the silver areas with Stormhost Silver. To highlight the scales of the tabard, I lightly brushed against the lower part of them. This is by far the longest step of the process, but this is also the most important step. If you do this correctly, the model will look great. If this is taking a lot of effort from you, you should probably try to focus on the most important areas, and that is around the pauldrons, the head, and anything that sticks out from the model. But if you're feeling ambitious, pretty much any hard line on the model can be highlighted. It will look good. Just always try to focus on the most important ones first. When I got tired of highlighting myself, I pulled out my 0.1mm pen and started making cracks and ships in the armor. This is really quick and easy to do. In the most visible places where the wash hasn't settled dark enough, I used it as well. I used Blood for the Blood God to add some blood effects. Try to build the effect up slowly. Use Soulstone Blue to make a few gem effects, but I recommend using maybe green or purple to make the effect stand out more. And with that the model is finished and we can put them on the base I made before. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this useful.